Hello everyone, and welcome back to the second devlog for my game Soulveyor. Over the past month, I've been working on a few new things that I wanted to show off in this video, starting with the new ceiling mechanic. If you can see down here, you have this little UI orb looking thing. Previously, I had it so that you would simply just hold F for like 4 seconds or something like that. But now, you have to play this little mini game right here, and I'll show you this in just a sec, where you start holding F and you have to release it on the green zone over here. Let me see if I can show you. So now when I hold F, this little mini game pops up, and I think it's about 10 seconds, and I have to release it on green, and if I don't, it fails, and then I'm stunned or whatever. And these guys, the vessels, later on will have a chance to either run away or despawn if I keep failing it over and over again. So, oh yeah, there's also little particle effects if I do this. But, so yes, you have to walk over and start holding F, and you have to release it on the green. If you don't, it fails and it goes back. And so if I go over here, and let's try a successful seal now. And please forgive the particle effects, but that's a work in progress. So now when you win a duel, you get the soul of whatever you were fighting, and there will be different types of vessels and stuff. This just so happens to be a green one, or an earth vessel, and looks like he dropped a common soul. And so this soul will get added to your gauntlet, as you see over here. See, he's moving around in there. So you go around collecting these guys, and this is your jar right here. And I think if I do it again, yep, he gets a little dizzy. But yes, so you walk around collecting them all in your little gauntlet. I also spent a lot of time working on the item system I have here, specifically the back end side of things, whereas now I store each item individually. I can store their own custom data for every single item. Also some more effects. When you hover over, it gets bigger. A little sound effect plays when you pick something up and put it down. Plays a little sound effect. I like that little feedback. But before, I had it so that all copies of the pickaxe were the same, all copies of stone axe were the same, all copies of wooden hoe were the same, and etc. But now each item can store its own individual data. So if you had some sort of augment for a pickaxe, I could have a pickaxe here with speed or something like that. This pickaxe could hold something else. And in regards to wooden buckets, this one has 5 out of 5 water, this one has 3 out of 5 water, this one has 0 out of 5 water, and just working on getting that to sync over the network and stuff. As you can see, it updates in my hand, full, there's 3 out of 5, this one's empty. If I throw it in the world, it retains the information and somebody can walk and pick it up, and it's all in the exact order. And I don't know if you can tell, but let me set the time to make it a little more clear. I reworked some of the overworld art a little bit. Specifically, the grass tiles here look a little nicer. I think they look, it looks a little more cleaner, less like sharp and jaggy as opposed to the last video. The dirt is slightly more consistent. Minor touches, minor little touch-ups all around the world. Oh, I also added water over here. This is just placeholder water right now. It's not moving or anything, but it's just to represent water, so I can go dip my bucket in there, and then there we go, water some tiles. You can also grow and harvest crops. I've been growing these shroom root crops for the past couple days, and so I can go and still have to add sound effects for these, but yep, pick all these little guys right here, get them on my inventory. This one, 20 shroom roots, there we go, boom. My efforts have paid off. Another massive improvement that I've just been working on recently is how I handle area loading and area object loading, individual area object loading as well. So you see, in the past, I had it so that if a player left the area, so if I leave this area and I go back to the homeland or any other area, this entire area gets unloaded and the new area that I enter gets loaded. But now, let's say I have machines in this area, and all these machines are processing with all their own recipes and stuff, and Maybe this machine is pumping out items into a chest, which is then pumping out items into something else. I need to keep all that loaded. So if I go leave this area and go back to the spawn area right here, you can't see it on camera right now, but that area gets unloaded except for those machines. So those machines still stay loaded and can process all those recipes and stuff like that, which will allow me to keep advanced systems open and running. And I can change that variable for each individual area object. So right now, stone and wood, all this stuff gets unloaded because there's no need for this to remain loaded for every single area, because theoretically in the future you could potentially have an infinite number of areas. Maybe when you reach the corner of the map, maybe it generates more, and you might be able to infinitely generate areas. So I can't keep an infinite number of areas generated at once. So I need to pick and choose what I keep loaded. And so this is just a really efficient way for me to manage everything in the world. Another thing that I've been working on is setting up dedicated servers for Soulveyor. So right now I'm currently running as a host, so I can just go and simply invite friends off of my Steam list and they can join my world. But now you also have the option to run a dedicated server. So I could simply leave my dedicated server up and running, and I can give my friends my IP and they could all connect to it. I could be away and everybody can come and go as they please. So if you really wanted to, you could leave your Soulveyor server up 24/7, 365. Everybody can leave, join, come, make changes, and do as they please. And finally, the last thing that I wanted to show off in this video is your own shop. And so, if you can't remember, whenever anybody joins your world in Soulveyor, they are given their own plot of land. So this is the main spawn area. It's incredibly overgrown right now because I just sped up the days and grew a lot of trees in order to advance time. But let me get out this test sword that I used to clear trees here. There we go. Really overpowered sword. Okay. So this is it's almost like a land plot teleporter. This takes you to your land. Think of this as like your apartment. And so I'm about to enter my apartment right here. This account's called Pizza, so there we go. I set the teleporter, and now it's going to take me to my own plot of land. When other players join your world, you can simply just select their plot of land if you wish to visit their plot of land. And so this is my own land. I can do as I please on here. And each copy of my land, I have a house that's up there. And so now everybody also gets their own shop. Now I might change the location of the shop. Maybe I'll have it in spawn where everybody will get their own shop. But as of now, it's on your own land. And so this is what you do when you're going throughout the world, growing crops, collecting things, making new products, etc. If I go here, plant all this. There we go. Let's say I grow these shroom roots right here. Go water them. La-di-da-di-da. Over time, it grows, and then I collect my shroom roots. So now what do I do with these guys? So I want to sell them. So I go to my shop right here. And this is a starter shop. This is placeholder walls, placeholder art. The the wallpaper needs to change really badly. That is some pretty scuffed wallpaper. But right now you get your starter chest. I just gave you 4 starter chests over here. You can open these up. Oh, look at this! Look at this nice little UI. Yeah, and so this is like your counter right over here. So this is your counter. This is your money jar. So when I go and let's say I want to sell, I just harvested 30 shroom roots. Let's say I want to go sell these. I'll go open up the chest and then I'll place it in one of these chests. And currently, how the sell mechanic works right now, it's just boom, just a simple implementation. I currently have it set up so that every X seconds, an item gets sold. More specifically, a random amount. See, look, more items just got sold right there. So I think it's 10 seconds right now. Every 10 seconds, the computer will look through these chests right here and pick out an item to sell and sell a random amount of that. And then whatever it does sell, shroom roots are worth 2 shillings a piece. So I can go over here and collect my shillings. Oh, it just sold the last one. Perfect. So I can go leave, put everything I want to sell in the shop, go back to the world. Maybe I collect some stone right here. Maybe I want to go sell this. I don't think stone has any value right now, but I'll try to sell it. And yes, I can just go. Where's my shroom roots? I'll steal more of these. There we go. Just put these in the chests. And so yeah, I can just go place my stuff in the chest, and I can go about my day, and everything will sell over time. And so next, what I want to have going is, instead of just a random item getting sold every X amount of time, I want to have little forest NPC dudes walking about your shop, like looking at your items and buying stuff. So that's how I ultimately want the shop to function. So you'd have like little customers walking in and out of your shop, buying your products. Also, in the future, other players on the server will be able to come visit your shop, maybe trade with you, maybe buy, sell your items, and you'll be able to collect whatever you sold to them. There we go. Now for my plans for the future of Soulveyor, I want to transition my current day and night cycle over from every day ends at I think it's like 1 o'clock or midnight. I have it set right now. I want to transition that over to a continuous day and night cycle. I feel like that would much better suit Soulveyor. And so I'll have to go and change the way the world works and set that up in order to accommodate for a continuous day and night cycle. So rather than the day simply ending at 1 o'clock, it's just constantly day and then transitions to night, and then it slowly turns back to day. And you absolutely can always go to bed and make it morning that way. But I feel like a continuous cycle would make more sense, especially in combination when setting up a dedicated server. You can just leave your server up 24/7, and the days will progress day, night, just like that, continuously. If I do end up implementing something like a season system in which all these tiles change to, if it's summer, spring, or fall, etc., transitioning these from grass tiles to maybe snow tiles or maybe orange leaves. For season transitions, I might have some sort of like event or festival or whatever that forces everybody to almost like sleep. Your screen turns black and then goes back up. And that's how I would end up changing the season. Still have to think about that though. Now for what I want to work on next is to give the player something to do with the souls that they end up collecting. After they just won a duel, you get a soul. And so now I want to be able to take that soul maybe to an altar or something, almost like I have the shop over there. I have a shop. The player will be able to take the souls that they collect throughout the world to this altar, and they'll be able to cash them out and seal them inside of a scroll, which will ultimately give them a new scroll that they can use inside of their deck, and they can use to build new decks with and stuff like that. I also have to work on the deck building UI, very placeholder right now, but it is something I will take care of. So thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next Soulveyor devlog coming up in the future. And in the meantime, please join my Discord down below. I try to respond to as much as I possibly can, so I'm always on there. Please let me know what you think about what I've shown off in today's devlog. And until then, I will catch you all in the next devlog. Peace out.